Mark Watts, LeadFDS.com. I'm here at the Spot Athletics in Columbus, Ohio with owner Jell Holdsworth. Jell, appreciate you having us here. You're going into year 2. You got your 1-year anniversary at this new facility. You've been in business now for 4 years. Talk about some of the lessons you learned over that course of time as far as being a business owner and owning a training facility.
Yeah, so our old facility was about 3,000 square feet. This new facility is almost 8,000 square feet. Much bigger, much nicer. We were inside of another larger sports complex. It's just being able to control the culture, the environment, everything that's going on, everybody in and out, it's been huge for us. I wouldn't take back where I started, but after being standalone like we are now, I definitely would never go back. For us, one of the biggest things is our culture. That's number one to who we are. So for us as a training facility, we don't allow people to come in without coaching. Every person who walks in the door, we know everybody's name. They're working with a coach in some capacity. And so it's really allowed us to create that family environment. And as we've grown in this bigger location, we've been able to maintain that by adding great coaches and just having an amazing staff.
Talk about when you get you're getting more and more clients in, and those clients are very diverse. You got anyone from the school age athletes to the older adults. Talk to me a little bit about when you get a new client in here, what's the process look like to get them acclimated to your training environment?
So I think the biggest thing, like you said, we have 8-year-olds, we have 72-year-olds. So there's the big difference. Pro athletes, all in the mix there. So for us, the first thing is really letting them understand our culture. I think for us, we're not for everybody. We don't pretend to be for everybody. So, most people walk in here and they have 1 or 2 reactions. This isn't for me, or I think I would love this. And so, it's funny, we've had some people come in that adult population, especially in the females, who are like, oh, I just want to get cardio and I don't really want to lift weights. And, we well, that's not really who we are. And after we talk to them about our culture and everything, it's funny because those same people a month later are like, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever done. And thank you so much for making me understand how much strength is important. And so I would say whether it's the athletes, the adults, really the parents of the athletes, the biggest thing for us to do right away is getting them to understand our culture and to really buy into our culture and understand that if they become part of that, then they will get amazing results and make amazing improvements.
Right, that makes sense. Talk a little bit more about the culture. You talked about having coaches and again knowing personally those coaches and the job they do here. But there's a longer process for it. You bring them in. You have a system with the internship program, which is really very very comprehensive the way it's modeled, and that transition into being a coach here. Talk about that mentorship of those young people. What are you looking for if you're hiring a coach? What are the biggest components that you're looking for those people to succeed?
Well, I think it is a long process. It starts with some interviews and things, some questions through email. Then we do an in-person interview. And then I think the most critical part is the part where they come in and they have to lift with the staff. We have our staff training time every day. And depending on what they're training for, that changes a little, but there's certain days, where everybody's in here and everybody's training hard, and those are the days when we invite the people in. And the most important part of that is kind of what we talked about with the clients. It's the culture. Yeah. One of my big questions I always ask everybody is, what do you read to learn? And I wait, and if they don't say EliteFDS.com, I say, well, have you ever heard of EliteFDS.com? If they say no, I'm automatically like, this person isn't gonna fit, because if they're in our industry and they don't read that and they don't understand that, they're just not gonna understand who we are and what our culture is. So for us, it's really all the coaches here, they hang out when they're not here. We're here, 12, 14 hours a day together, coaching, lifting, training with each other. And then, on Friday nights, a lot of the coaches will go out together, or, on Saturday, hey, what are you guys doing? And it's that family environment. So when we bring someone else in, whether it's just an intern or whether we bring someone in who has a lot of experience, so we have our professional internship for coaches who have more than 3 years experience, no matter who we bring in, we have to know through that process that we've created that they're going to positively impact and uphold our culture. Because if they don't, then that to us, I mean, that's the most important thing. I mean, we turn people away, clients who you know, we start going through an assessment process, and you know, they're either fighting us or arguing with us or just not being like who we feel are good people. And if they are, then we just tell them you're not a good fit for us. And you know, I'm a big one bad apple spoils the bunch. I've seen it happen before on teams. Yeah. You have one defactor, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, you got 20 angry people. So I don't ever want that in my facility. So you know, we tightly hold on to that culture, and that's through, you know, making sure that the coaches we bring in are in that same culture.
Well, Jale, we appreciate you taking the time to talk with us. If you're in the Columbus area, you need to check out the spot. You're online on social media. And,
Instagram and the tweeters and the Facebooks.
So appreciate your time, Jale. Thanks.
All right. Thanks.